Hello, guys. Hope you all are having an amazing Sunday evening, and I'm happy after I've taken the break. So let's just wait for few people to come in, join the live, and then we'll get going. So the agenda for today is I'm going to try and share the pitch information that I have in hand. Apart from that, the ground dimensions, all of that sort of information. And then once the toss comes in, we'll discuss the base team and what kind of changes we can make on that base team to make it better, what kind of GL rotations we can do. So we'll try and discuss all of that in this live session. Apart from that, the pitch. I don't exactly have the ground dimensions, but I think the pitch report should be more than enough because all the three games are going to be played at the same ground. So I think that should suffice for you. I will try and share one or two teams, and then you can make changes on that. I will discuss what kind of rotations you can make based on the toss, based on the lineup, if there are any changes. And one request is if you all can just mention in the comments whether you all are comfortable with English or with Hindi, so we can go ahead with that accordingly. And Sarthak, I am looking at sharing mostly just one or two teams, but I guess you can rotate more on that. Hi Rahul, hi Ankush. Spin play a vital role. I guess spin should play a more important role than in the first game because if we saw the pitch in the first game, it was quite fresh. But in the end, in the second innings, Chell was starting to get some sort of help. So I guess if that is the case, it will only get better for spin bowlers, especially if they're using the same pitch for all the three games. Early swing if Gill can get out early. So generally we see that on pitches, it's generally the first game on that pitch or on that ground that gives the most amount of movement. And we saw in the first game itself there was nothing. But I feel like West Indies will also improve their bowling now that they're bowling the second game on the same pitch. So I guess it should be slightly tougher for the Indian openers than it was in the first game. And yes, we're going in English. Okay, done. Okay, sub. Everyone is saying English, so we'll go in English. Hi, Ketan. Yes. I'm much better now. That's why I'm back here. I thought we should have a live, and yeah, just took a short break for a day after last night's game, which anyway got abandoned. So okay, we'll start by looking at the pitch report, and let me check if there is any kind of information that the cricket board has posted yet. Okay, we have a quick pitch report that's coming from Samuel Badri. So let's just look at it. Hindi, English. So Samuel Badri is basically expecting it to be yet another high scoring game. So let me just share the pitch in front of you, and then maybe you can also take a call based on the same. Just let me know when you guys can see my screen, and then maybe we can discuss the pitch after that. Talking about spin, can Akshar Patel do well? Akshar Patel, I think we ourselves have been backing him for quite a while now, but he's not come up with that performance that we need yet. But let's hope he can do well. So this is a pitch that you can see in front of you, and that sheen is still sort of there on the ground, which means that it still should be pretty good for batting. And yeah, like you can see, not too many cracks. It's not like it's majorly deteriorated, but I don't expect it to be as high scoring as the first game, according to me, because I felt like the bowlers were way off their lines from both teams in the first game. But that might not be the case come this game. So I feel like the bowlers should have a more improved game today. Avesh Khan is debutant is he important. So Avesh Khan, especially if India bowl first, then he's very important. In fact, then he's an amazing GL captaincy choice also. Apart from that, if he is bowling second, maybe you can take a chance leaving him. But he's the kind of guy that if he takes one wicket, then he'll take three, four on the trot for you. So he's the kind of guy who's a good GL captaincy or vice captaincy choice. In small leagues, it's a call that you have to take. Not with Nikhil Bhai today. So we are planning to do something in terms of mid-game analysis. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Maybe somewhere about 10:30 for people who like to play second innings. So people who just like some perspective mid innings on what is really going on in terms of the game. So if that works out, I'll keep you guys updated by 9:30 if we can do that somewhere at about 10 o'clock. Yes, Avesh making ODI debut. Just read about that. Can we play small league using your team? So I'm just waiting for the toss to figure out if we have some differentials, because I guess you saw in the first game both teams didn't really lose too many wickets and the top order scored, and that's the sort of game where you don't want to play too much of small league in, because that the kind of people who make their team based on selection order are the ones who pick all the top order batters, and then your the kind of skill that you're using in that kind of game is very very minimal. Hence, I don't really believe in playing small leagues in games where the top order is dominating, because then everybody comes with a common team, and jiska captain या vice captain है better है, they'll take it away, and then that does not really bring for any competition. So you should try and target a GL in that kind of game. Hayden Walsh playing today, interesting choice, but he also has been quite erratic in terms of the way he's been bowling in the last few games. Prasid has not been economical also. In fact, many of the games he's conceded a lot of runs. So, will you give teams for head-to-head contest? Sriram, I think you're on the wrong channel. I've never played head-to-head in my life, so I have no clue about that. Moti is out and Walsh is in. Should we keep him in our GL plan as it's a used pitch? So I think with bowlers like Hayden Walsh, they pitch the ball very short at times, so there is a chance that they can get you a lot of free wickets. But I think this Indian batting order is quite good against spin, so I don't see someone like Surya or Deepak Hooda really throwing it away. Maybe you can try that out in a few GL teams, but not in like a small league team for sure. Uh, why backing Akshar this much? So Akshar, in fact, except for the last few months, if you see pre-IPL, he's bowled really well against all kind of teams, and he's got a lot of wickets also. So it's worth backing such a player. I know you can be like he's not given any performance in the last 2 3 months, but then that's not how it works, because if that player comes in and gives you one good performance, then your job is done, because he also catches that momentum across games further. और थोड़ा हिंदी गाइज, अगर किसी को इंग्लिश नहीं समझ में आता है यहाँ पे, मेरे लिए कोई भी सवाल हो आप कमेंट्स बॉक्स में डाल दो, लिख दो कि हिंदी में बोलो। आई एम हैप्पी कि मैं हिंदी में आपके लिए वो जवाब दे दूंगा, नो प्रॉब्लम। अब जीएल टीम क्यों नहीं दे रहे वो? सर जीएल टीम ही तो देते हैं हम, आधे आधे से ज्यादा टाइम तो इतनी रिस्की टीम होती है हमारी। और बाकी बात जीएल की रही, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि जीएल एट द एंड ऑफ द डे उसमें आपका स्किल और नसीब भी लगेगा कि आप जाके एक दो रोटेशन खुद से करो। अगर मैं आपको अपना नसीब दे पाऊँ, या 1 करोड़ रुपीज अगर 300 लोग में एफसीपी चैनल पर डिवाइड हो गए, तो फिर वो जीएल जीत के वैसे भी मतलब नहीं है, राइट? तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि आप खुद से वो रोटेशंस कर पाओ। Uh, today, drop Indian openers. It's always a very tempting option for you to drop an opener from any team, but it totally depends on the kind of leagues you're playing. Like majority of the people on the FCP family are kind of people who play mini grand leagues, so I'm okay for them to take that kind of risk. But if you're playing small leagues and on such a placid track, it becomes difficult for you to do that. Uh, how to select a game for Grand League and Small League. So if you feel like basically on pitches where there is more activity happening in terms of there being movement, in terms of there being a little bit more spin, basically whether there is any kind of wicket taking chance, that's where you have differentials in your bowling attack, or you can take middle order batters for them to work reliably for you. So that is the kind of game that you want to play small leagues in. But in games where you feel like it will be batting dominated, the top order will come and score a lot of runs, then your opportunity to take differential picks becomes very less. So I think that is the kind of game you want to use in mini GL and GLs. You see, I select my small league games very carefully to invest more in, because at the end of the day, small leagues, along with being more risky, are also more investment. So you don't want to waste your money on anything. And I know all of this might sound like crap and very boring and everybody wants the screenshot, but at the end of the day यही चीजों से profit बनता है. These are the things that actually matter. Akil, good vice captaincy option, 2 3 wickets, handy run surely, especially if he's bowling second. Then I think then even more handy an option, because he's now we are seeing his bowling is over slightly late, and Indian batting in the second innings at times gives a lot of wickets to spinners. Puran, good captain for small league. Yeah, on this kind of pitch, he is a pretty decent option, especially if he's chasing. Maybe not in batting first, because I feel like batsmen like Puran do have difficulties at times in pacing their innings. So in first batting, it might be slightly tricky. Uh, do I handle? So it's sort of a mix. I do handle most of my work alone, but yeah, I do have a set of freelancers who help me, people who are just out of college, like how I was when I started the channel. So yeah, I guess that helps. Targeting 125 rupees contest with 20 teams. Uh, with which contest is this, sir? Is this the 3,000 or 4,000 spot contest? If it's that, then you can rotate. Basically, make three or four base teams. One based on West Indies winning, one based on India winning, one based on a lot of wickets falling at the start, one based on a high scoring game, and then you can rotate your captains, vice captains, one or two players based on that. Thank you so much, Amit. How to select captain and vice captain? So, there's one interesting logic here, right? That a batsman gets to make only one mistake. If he makes one mistake, the innings is over for him over there. On the other hand, a bowler in a T20 gets at least 18, 12, 18, 24 chances. In an ODI, he gets somewhere 30, 45, 60 based on how he's performing. So, like a person like me who likes to hedge my risks, I will prefer making somebody who gets more opportunities a captain, because I know in that scenario, if that batsman fails, he'll still come good as a bowler. Something or the other will work out for me. So it totally depends on your priority. If you like taking high risks, you can go with batters, but I prefer going with all rounders and bowlers because of the reason that they get more opportunities to prove themselves and more opportunities to work on the fact कि चलो ठीक है first over अच्छा नहीं गया तो मैं second over में आके I'll come and cover that up. But with batsmen, there's that opportunity is not there. If he gets one good ball or if he plays one poor shot, that is the innings done over there, and that works. It You might see three or four games where a batter will come and hit 100, 120, and the game is over for us. But 7 out of 10 times, you will see that a bowler will give you 25, 50, 75 on his best day. At worst day, he will still end up giving you somewhere about 25. But that might not be the case with a batter. So I think a first innings death bowler is the perfect kind of captain that you want to make. But yes, totally depends on you. Okay, I guess I'm giving a lot of long and boring speeches, and there are a lot of comments. So let me just look at them. Has the toss done yet? Let's just look at the toss. And guys, ये multiple comments मत करो यार. मैं समझ में नहीं आ रहा है किसका comment लूँ मैं पहले. Uh, so the toss is not done yet, I guess. Only news till now is Avesh Khan is set to make his debut. सुबह से कहाँ से आप कुछ नहीं सर आराम ही कर रहा था. Okay, guys, can you just put your question one by one? I'm really confused. Too many questions here. Whom in the Indian top order can we drop today? Let's just wait for the toss to figure that out, because I know that if it's a chasing sort of game, then maybe you can drop someone who you know bats at a low strike rate. But I'm just waiting for the toss. Let's not make a pre assumption on that. Okay, up the toss is happening. Just being that good in for a longer period of time, just execute. There's a lot of things you could have done differently, but also we're happy with what we have done. Okay, Abhijit. So I already spoke about the pitch. The pitch, as per Samuel Badri, should be high scoring again in this game. So as per that, it should be a pretty good pitch to bat on. I'm just waiting to just hear the toss. So West Indies have won the toss and they're batting first. Okay, that should be interesting. So if West Indies is batting first, Avesh Khan is going to bowl first, and like one of you mentioned, Avesh Khan is a good vibe for all of us. Avesh Khan in today's match looks like everyone is excited about Avesh Khan. Just give me a minute. Let me just figure out what is happening with the toss. And yup, I'm just sharing the pitch on my screen here. So this is the pitch. Like you can see, it should be good for batting again. and I think it should slow down a little bit, especially if West Indies have elected to bat first, means उनको लग रहा है कि किधर ना किधर the pitch should get slower. That is what my gut is, because if they felt like there was any sort of movement up front, then they would have selected to bowl. West Indies bat first. Would you share the team? I will update that soon, Lovepreet, if we can do that. And guys, if you have not liked this video, go and like the video. Please go and subscribe to this channel down. आप जब तक subscribe नहीं करोगे, हमें कहाँ से कुछ फायदा होगा? Moti out with injury. Yes, I know Walsh is in. Okay, Avesh Khan on debut, and I'm seeing many new viewers, people who are not on Telegram, so you can come join us there on Fantasy Cricket Pro. I will give you all the final teams and updates there. So, what Puran is saying is anything over 250 will be challenging here, which means I assume that he thinks that the pitch will slow down a bit. Okay, Prasidh Krishna is out for India and Avesh Khan is in. That should be interesting. I think one thing that should happen in this game is I think someone like Akhil Hussain might come up early against Gill, especially if Dhawan has a struggly sort of time in the chase. Okay, so I guess we have all the information now. Any sort of questions that you have, you can throw them in. I'm going to share my base team here, and I will ask everybody to join in so that no one blames me later for not sharing the base team. Shepherd view now. Shepherd is bowling second, so I don't know how effective he'll be. And if they're expecting it to turn, which means that by the time the West Indies death batting comes in, it should turn a little bit more. So how effective Shepherd will be would be slightly tricky. So let's just look at what team I have set up till now, and then we can take a call on what to change because I've set this team pre the toss. And how many people are in? We're 71 in. SL or mini GL. Let's take that call post forming the team because that's what I actually do when I share the team with all of you. Okay, so I will quickly share the team. So this is the base team that I was looking at, and this was assuming, like you can see currently, that India would have batted first. Now I'm just going to mention what rotations you can make here from a GL perspective, and I will share the final mini GL team on our channel. If you can play small leagues or not, I'll update directly on the channel over there. But this is the sort of team I was looking at before the toss happened. Changes is that surely someone like Sanju Samson, if he's batting second, especially against spin on a track that's expected to get slow, will be slightly tricky. So you can surely rotate Samson out of this team. Shea Hope will be someone who will probably get the benefit of the best batting conditions, so someone who should come in. Akshar and Chahal will surely stay in for me, especially because we are expecting the pitch to be slow. So Akshar and Chahal both should stay in your team. Akil Hussain, I guess now would be a good vice captaincy choice, especially because he's bowling second. He's expected to bat a bit at the death of the first innings. There's one guy who I'm tentative about is Hayden Walsh. I'm not too sure if he will be effective on this track or not. So I guess you can leave that based on your gut to decide. And now one more thing you'll have to add in here is an extra West Indian batter by either subbing out someone like Sanju Samson or Romario Shepherd. If you feel like Kyle Mears will bat decently, you can take him back in the team. But I feel like Sanju Samson is someone you can probably leave now because he is going to come up in a slightly more difficult situation than he was expected to. Kyle Mears, I think, looked decent in the last game, but I think I'm okay to take a chance on him. So I guess hope Puran become locks for you, and you have to decide a third West Indian batter. Apart from that, you need spinners from most of the team. I just guess that Walsh would be something that you'll have to think about. And apart from that, I'll share the whole final team on Telegram, and yeah, I'll just zoom this in for your reference and mention what your rotations are. So here you can rotate out Sanju Samson, like I mentioned, because he's going to be batting second in not so easy batting conditions as per what we are seeing at the toss. Similarly, Surya Kumar Yadav could go out for someone like a Shubman Gill. You can take in Kyle Mayers if you're dropping Samson or Shepard. So I guess the suspect picks for you are Sanju Samson and Romario Shepard. These are the guys you can probably rotate. In the bowling section, now that India is bowling first, Thakur still remains a good option for you. And I guess somewhere you can also add in someone like Avesh Khan for Alzari Joseph. So that way you're able to sub in everybody properly. So yes, if you have any doubts, happy to answer. But I guess that is what it probably will be. Uh, yeah, sure. I'll remove the banner just a second. Now I hope you guys can see the team. So I'll just repeat one more time so that you guys are clear. The guys who I'm going to rotate out of this team: Sanju Samson, Romario Shepard, Surya Kumar Yadav, and Alzari Joseph. Apart from that, I guess most of the team is certain in terms of the base picks that you'd like to make. So I guess only these are the four picks that would become suspect based on the toss and the lineups that we currently have. Guys that you would like to slot in for GL, mini GL, whatever league that you're playing. Avesh Khan would be a good pick. Hayden Walsh might be a decent pick. Kyle Mayers would be a good pick. And any one West Indian batter, maybe someone like Robman Powell, would be a good pick. So, yes, based on your gut feeling, you can make that final call. And no, I'll share the final team, Arnav, in some time on Telegram. If you're not on our Telegram, you can join on Fantasy Crick Pro. And Shama Brooks, now I'm not too sure about Shama Brooks because of the fact that he can turn the ball. So I guess you have to take a final call on that because he might not be as good against a turning ball. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Else we can close this and I'll share the final team with you guys. Bowler nahi dikh rahe. So the bowlers that I've taken are Shardul Thakur, Yuzvendra Chahal, Akil Hussain, and the last spot I'm yet to decide. Someone between Alzari Joseph or Avesh Khan will be my final pick. Brandon King against Yuzvendra Chahal and Akshar Patel in conditions that are expected to help spin more, maybe not. So yeah, I would not opt for him, especially because he plays a very high risk game. So he might throw his wicket away. Mini GL is how much amount? So mini GL is anything that is 50 or above members. The amount totally depends on your budget. So guys, now I'll share the final team on Telegram because I also have a few changes to make. Apart from that, if you have any questions, just let me know quickly and then we can move. 25 rupees. Sir, you'll have to figure out if how many members the whole league is for. It depends on the number of members. Okay, so I guess we're done then. We have all our questions through. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and yes, do remember to like the video so more people can view. And I'll share the final team on Telegram, Fantasy Crick Pro, in some time, so you can start doing your rotations based on whatever we discussed on the base team. And I'll share the final team on Telegram in some time. So all the good luck to you. And yes, someone asking me about other apps. So I guess there are giveaways today on Fantasy Akhada, on Sportacy, on Fan to Play. You can use the links that I've given you guys, and you can join in over there. And okay, so I'll now shift to Telegram, and we'll speak about the final team there. All the good luck to all of you.